Dr. Berg here. Today we're going to talk about the most barbaric medical treatment that is still being used today. Out of all the things in the history of medicine, I think lobotomies were the absolute worst, but this is the second worst. But it's still being used as a medical treatment today for depression and other mental illnesses. And so this is a pretty disgusting topic, but I need to cover it to make people aware because you're not even going to believe that this still is going on. Let's first talk about the cost. Between $2,000 to $2,500 per treatment. Let's see if you can guess what this treatment is. It's covered by Medicaid, Medicare, and the VA system. The market of this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's a cash cow. You can make a lot of money off this therapy. An average treatment includes 12 sessions in the first month, but then you have a maintenance at one treatment every 3 weeks. Next one, it's never been scientifically proven to work. There's never, ever been any double-blinded placebo-controlled trials. This treatment is done on kids 8 years old, pregnant females. It's even been given to women with PMS. The UN actually calls this a human right abuse, comparing this forced treatment on minors to torture. This is also being used in China as torture. But of course, in America, we call it a therapy. And on top of that, they don't even know why it works. I mean, one thing they use it for is depression. It makes you forget, at least temporarily, that you even had depression. And it was never FDA approved. Never FDA approved? How did it get through? Well, it was grandfathered in with a loophole. And in 2018, the FDA downgraded it from a high risk classification 3 to a moderate risk classification 2. And it causes structural brain damage, creating swelling or inflammation of the brain, neuronal death, basically killing the brain cells. Can you guess what therapy I'm talking about? ECT, electroconvulsive therapy, aka shock therapy. That's where they put 150 volts through your brain to induce a grand mal seizure. That's the therapy. And yes, I know what you're saying. They banned this long ago. No, they didn't. It's still in existence. In fact, if you were to take your cell phone and just say ECT near me, you're going to find places all around you that are doing this. Some in the basements of hospitals, other clinics, but they're still doing this barbaric treatment. There are massive side effects. There's at least 60 adverse events documented. Permanent brain damage, permanent memory loss, heart attacks. I mean, when you think about how much electricity you would have to stop the heart, it's actually just 100 millivolts. They use 500 to 800 millivolts with 150 volts for 8 seconds. So you're putting enough electrical energy to stop the heart, but on your brain. So why would you have a heart attack if it's focused on the brain? Well, the brain is connected to the rest of the body. So what stops this voltage from going through the entire body? One of the side effects is cardiac arrest, increased risk of suicide, and the list goes on and on and on. When I was in practice, I had people come in that had this ECT therapy, so-called therapy. I mean, I actually called it traumatic brain injury. When I was in practice, when people would come in after having that, they had a lot of problems. They had a loss of their personality, a loss of their humor, loss of their creativity. They just weren't themselves. And they're coming to me, but I was never successful in helping them get some of that back because it wasn't a diet thing. It wasn't a nutritional deficiency thing. It was a traumatic brain injury thing. And even to give this to pregnant women or children is barbaric because some of the side effects are actually death. And what it does to your DNA and your cells and your mitochondria, massive destruction. It actually shrinks the part of the brain called the hippocampus that is like a relay with all your memories. After the therapy, you're just never the same.
It's like the worst headache I've ever had. And then I started panicking because I didn't know who I was. I don't remember my name. I don't remember anything. I don't remember what happened the day before. It was, I didn't remember anything at all. When I came back, I wasn't used to my home, my neighborhood, nothing. And the next 4 years are blank.
Neurologist Dr. John Feinberg wrote in the American Journal of Psychiatry in 1977 that ECT caused structural brain damage indistinguishable from head trauma. I mean, with this topic, I asked myself, like, what is the elephant in the room? Why aren't they looking at the root cause of why they even needed the treatment in the first place? I'll guarantee they're not going to look at your diet. They're not going to look at nutritional deficiencies. If someone has depression, they should be monitoring their vitamin D levels, their B vitamin levels, their omega-3 fatty acid levels. They should be looking at their diet to get them on a low carb diet. They should be doing intermittent fasting. All of these things greatly help depression. So there's so many alternative things that someone can do for mental disorders that are more natural, that are a lot less barbaric.
I mean, if you don't care about your memories or your life or anything like that, oh yeah, go ahead, do it. If you love pain, you love headaches and all that, yeah, go do it. If you want to remember your life, you want to remember your friends and all the good times, and all that, yeah, don't do it.
Now, if you're like me and you agree with how barbaric this is and you want to do something about this, I have a link down in the description that you can do something about. You can fill it out and you can start to petition against this therapy to your state representative. And if enough of us do this, we can make a change. To have a therapy that has never been tested, but it's paid for through the taxpayers' dollars to Medicaid, Medicare, the VA system, on such a barbaric treatment with so many side effects is completely and utterly insane. And if you agree with me, please click the link below, fill out the form, petition against this so we can all collectively do something about it. Now, if any of you have any type of mental problems or depression or anything, I created a video on how to address that more naturally without the side effects in this video right here. Check it out.